Welcome back to another episode of Extra with Adrian L. and Grace Turner.
Hello.
We have video back, which is super exciting. It's been like 3 weeks, at least 3 episodes that we were trying to figure out the video situation, the Wi-Fi situation.
It was so complicated.
Yeah, I mean, even just setting up this camera today took us a solid 30 minutes to move. We tried to put you guys on top of the TV, put you on the desk. We moved the desk. We have 4 books that you are now stacked on.
Yep.
So
some really good books, by the way. So
yeah, so the setup will not look the same every time because it is quite the adventure to set this up.
Yeah, we gotta find like different places, like different storage.
Yeah. Right now we're just in my room for today. Hopefully in the future we can go somewhere where you actually have like a view with like the ocean and not my mountain tapestry from college.
That might fall down throughout this video, so
yeah, it's hanging on bad athletic tape. So
yeah,
hopefully it stays up for this like hour-long video. But anyway, we're going to be talking about our 3rd week here in Peru, and we also had our first match last night. Regattas, we won 3-0, so we'll get into all that fun stuff. Here's Shirley. Yes, without further ado, let's get started. Let's roll. Alrighty, so we've now been in Peru almost a full month. We're coming up on 1 full month here, and so much has changed, I feel like, from the first week to now. Like, there's people in the dorms with us, there's things to do, we're learning more Spanish, so that's helping in all aspects of living here, getting used to just the lifestyle of being a pro athlete and all that it entails. So
I was gonna say, the thing that's interesting is we were like, oh my gosh, like we wish that there was like more people in our dorms, like the dorm thing. And what they do sometimes is like, even if you're from like Peru or Lima, they like some of the other like teams, like we have some rowers on our floor. Well, I think it's rowers and basketball players. But if you're from Lima, like they'll let you have like one of these dorms, so you don't have to like commute as far, because most people live pretty far away. So it's like, but now we're kind of like, oh, like, you know, we have more people, so now we like see everybody all the time. You know, we're like, we kind of miss the quiet and like it just to ourselves. But I mean, otherwise, like, you know, they've been nice, and the basketball players, we know them better just because I guess we have like similar schedules and stuff.
It was funny the other day at practice, our like gym has windows that overlook like right next to the sidewalk, and one of the girl basketball players was like walking by and she like stopped and like waved at all of us, and I waved, and our coach looked at me like, what are you doing? I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't be doing that.
You're like,
practice. But like she was so excited, and she was talking to one of like the assistants like through the window or whatever. But it was just so funny. So I was like, oh my gosh, we're friends.
Yeah, and it's cool.
We're not just by ourselves on like a little island.
And they like always ask like, oh, when's your next game? Or like, when do you practice? Like, where do you play? And so they like care. It's so fun like meeting people too. Yeah. Especially like the women's basketball team, like people that are just so lovely. So but I think that's pretty much all that's changed with like dorm wise. Yeah.
And then eating, we're still figuring that out. We have not been to the market just because it's kind of complicated, like having to take an Uber to get there and whatever. But we're finding good restaurants and good places to eat, getting into routine of all of that stuff. A lot of chicken and rice. So if we come back shredded, you know that's why, because that's our diet.
I was gonna say, it's like I'm almost going through like sugar withdrawals just because like everything that I'd eat back at home was like I had a little bit of sugar in it, and so like there'll be times that after practice or like even after the game, I was like, I need like a crepe, I need like some sort of like chocolate or like some sort of sugar, because that's just like how much sugar, like I guess that I didn't even know that it was a problem.
Yeah, we didn't think about it. Like we try to eat healthy when we're at home, but everything in America has sugar in it, which is a whole nother can of worms we could talk about with American eating, because our portion sizes are huge. Like our expectation for what we eat is ridiculous. But we came here and kind of almost like quit sugar cold turkey. And I think we are all going through withdrawals. And some days it's better than others. Like I'll be like, oh, this is really good. Like I just have my little strawberry juice that they make for me downstairs, my eggs and toast. But then I'm like, dang, a Coke sounds really good right now. Or today, a cinnamon roll for you.
I ate breakfast. I had there's this like little crepe place in the club, and the grip that has on us is just like so stupid. Like it is, the people know us by name now, and we like just show up and there's like there's three different crepes that we can get.
Yeah.
So there's a breakfast one that has like eggs, bacon, and cheese in it. And then there's like a Nutella one.
Strawberry.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nutella's with strawberry or you can get bananas in it. And then there's like the brownie with the ice cream one.
That one is dangerous. I got it one time because I was really craving something sweet and chocolatey, and I looked at it and it just was brownie, chocolate fudge, and a scoop of ice cream inside of your sugary sweet crepe.
It was like 17 soles. I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah. And yesterday before a game, maybe we shouldn't tell you this, but I had a piece of cheesecake and you had a brownie after breakfast because
I was like, I need something. Because we had eggs and toast.
Yeah,
and then juice, which was really nice. The juice that they make though, we were all talking about this. It's like we're gonna all get like juicers when we get home, or like blenders, because it's like they make it like fresh. So they'll take like fresh berries, like if you want like strawberry juice, they'll put like frozen strawberries in like a blender in water with a small pack of sugar, and they pour that in. And I mean, like it's like the one that you get from like hotels to like sweeten up your coffee.
Yeah, it's just a little something. So we've all talked about how good the like orange juice is, and everything is so fresh that it tastes 10 times better.
Yeah.
But it's all like the natural sugar, so it's definitely taken a little adjusting to like not having like fries and greasy food and just all the like normal American like donuts all the time, or coffee and milkshakes, like those kind of things. We don't have that all the time. So we do pretty good about our chicken and rice diet, and it's really good. The lady in the cafeteria helps us out a lot.
It's just so sweet.
The food is delicious, and I know Peru's like known for their chicken, and it is fire.
Yeah.
So
we still have to get on the I'm not a big seafood person, just being from Ohio, like Cincinnati particularly. Like we don't have like, it's not like we're by like the ocean where like I can get like fresh seafood. And I also have never like branched out. So I'm not a huge seafood person. Like I'll eat like crab and lobster, but like everyone's like, you have to try like Peruvian ceviche.
Yeah.
Ceviche.
We still haven't tried it yet.
See, it's raw fish, my friend. Like I don't know.
The sushi here is really good.
Sushi's good.
We've only had it once actually, so we need to go back. But
yeah,
I love seafood, so I am enjoying all of the fresh food that they have to offer.
Which has been nice, but we're still just figuring out like budgeting wise too, just like where we can eat and like, you know, what places maybe are more of like a luxury for us.
Yeah.
So, which it hasn't been hard. I mean, obviously we have access to like everything that we can need, but
just making sure we have money left over. We're not trying to blow through all of our money away.
I mean, worst thing is like we're literally just spending it on food right now.
Yeah, we have not bought any like clothes. We haven't gone shopping. This has been great for my budgeting, and my like bank account is probably thank you, because I can't do Amazon shopping or just going online and like clothes shopping, because it all would just get sent back to Ohio. And there's not like, there is shipping here, but it's super complicated and confusing and really expensive depending on where you order from. So
they're almost like you might as well just wait, because they're like, oh, like some of our teammates like, you can ship to our house, but like, you know, the cost for shipping is it's
just a hassle. So far no online shopping, and we haven't really gone out shopping yet. Everything has literally been spent on food, and then the zoo for like one day. Do you want to talk about the birthday party?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So little Adrienne here tweaked her ankle at practice on Friday.
It's okay. I'm all good. I just rolled it. I landed on somebody when we were blocking.
Yeah.
But the girl's birthday, Kiara's birthday party was Friday night, and I rolled it Friday morning. And so I just was like, you know what? We have a game Tuesday. I'm gonna rest all weekend. I don't need to be out and about in the streets of Peru, and like I don't need to be pushing my ankle. So I let it rest, but I was like, you guys go and have a good time, and I'll join along next time.
So we one of our teammates, Kiara, was having, I think it was her 22nd birthday. And so obviously like we have no idea, like Zion and I have no idea what to expect. We're kind of like, oh, like maybe there's gonna be a lot of dancing. We were told by one of our other teammates, we were like, so what does it look like? Like, how do we like prepare for it? Like, what do we wear? Because usually like when we go out, like it's just like
jeans and crop top.
And like gym shoes.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of like, what do we wear? Like
get in the lay of the land.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to. Well, they didn't want to go and be like overdressed or super underdressed.
And one of our teammates, Humana, was like, "You'll never want to party in America again," and we
Yeah.
were like, "Okay."
So that was like the
okay.
standard going in, and we're kind
Yeah.
of like, okay,
I
we'll
was like,
see.
I have a bad feeling I'm gonna have to call her. Like because they were just saying that they stay up to like 5.
Yeah, because we asked for like
I
how
can't do
late
that.
do you guys stay out, and without even hesitation, 5, 6.
5, 6.
I was like, I am in bed by 3, and in college and stuff, the bars close at 2.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, so you're not out until 5. And they were like, oh yeah, 5 o'clock. Like sometimes they come home when the sun's coming up. And Grace, I'm like,
I was like,
okay.
I can't do that. And so Z and I were like, yeah, like whatever, like we'll like get an outfit, get a like an Uber or a taxi, and then we'll go. And so we show up and it's in what was the area called? I don't even remember. Miraflores, yeah. And it's like a really cute little area, like very safe, like just a bunch of like shops and stuff. And we our Uber like pulls up and we were like, okay, like we're looking for this bar. And we're kind of looking our way to see like, oh, maybe there's like a line outside of it. Like we expected people to go out on a Friday.
Well, because also they told us to like get there at like 7 or 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are we gonna be there from 7 or 8 o'clock to 5 a.m.? That's a full-time job.
That's
So
that really is.
But you guys didn't even end up leaving till like 9:30, 10 because of the Uber and figuring out that stuff.
Yeah,
but
it was very difficult to find a ride there, but thankfully, like we were able to like figure it out, and we like show up and we're kind of looking for like a bar. We're like, okay, like it's a line. Like, how do we get in? Like, we need our ID. Do we need our passports? And so the Uber driver's like, it's right there, and he points to what looks like a little like yellow house. We were like, we're supposed to go into the. I was like, yeah, are you serious? And so then we were like, okay, like whatever. So we paid him, and then we start walking, and it turns out that it's like almost like a VIP like bar. So we were on like a list, like a pass list, and then we got escorted up to like the second floor, where then we were opened with like a red velvet like little like what is that called?
We were just talking about
a rope. It was like a velvet rope.
Right.
Like open for us. We were escorted up to the like rooftop bar, and it actually was really cute because it wasn't like flashy or anything, but it was like there was like little like heaters everywhere, and then like pictures of Kiara like over the years like all around, and there was food and like cake and stuff, and we like walk in and there was like our team there at one table, and then there was like a bunch of men's volleyball there, and then like her family and friends. And so we just sat around. I mean, like just talked, and then towards the end, like people were dancing and stuff. We invited our like basketball friends to come, which was really cool. So they showed up, and apparently there's this like one drink called pisco that they like it's known for in Peru, and obviously like we've never had it before. So Z and I tried it, and it was like good. I don't know if I would ever have it again. Like it was enough for me to be like, yeah, like I think I'm good. But yeah, so we just kind of like sat around, like ate a ton of food. Z and I like we ate so much food there because they had like it was almost like chicken salad with on like fresh like bread. And Carla's friend owns a shop. One of our teammates' friends owns like a bakery almost. And so she brought a bunch of that. And so Z and I were like scarfing these things down. And then yeah, it was fun because Kiara was just like making her rounds, just like everybody. Then like towards the end of the night, like got up and we were dancing, and it was a lot of like what is it, like reggae music? Is that
it's like just very beachy vibes. And even when we were like working out and stuff at Lyft and at our like little circuit training, we're like, oh, music, and they're like, yeah, music. So they put on like what I would play if I'm like laying by the beach, chilling, maybe like playing beach volleyball, but like just so chill, not like hardcore rap.
No,
nothing like that to work out to. So every time we like work out with them, we're kind of like, okay, we're like we're at the beach. And then one day we got on Ox, when like just a couple days ago, we were on Ox. So I was playing like our rap music from college, and I was like, all right, hopefully they like this. And they didn't really say anything about it, so I don't know what they thought.
If they even like really noticed it.
But that's, I guess, from what we've heard, that's kind of the basic gist of what they play like when you go out. So we're like, okay, I think it'd be cool, but I don't know if this compares to like partying in America. The only, I think, biggest difference would just be how long people are out.
Yeah,
Like
I think
staying out till 5 and 6, 7 a.m. is
yeah.
wild to me.
Z and I we left at around like it ended up being since we got there around like 10:30, we ended up leaving around like 1:30 or 2.
Yeah.
And we like kind of were walking around Miraflores, which is like you go there's like just a strip of like other like bars, and then we ended up at like a big like town mall, like what is that, like it was like a big like little place where there was restaurants, so it was like Burger King, McDonald's, and we just called a ride and then went home. But it was like it actually was super fun because it was just all really close family and friends there. And I mean it wasn't anything like super spectacular, but it was like wholesome because we were with the team and we were talking. And so it was very kind of her to invite us. Like obviously like she didn't have to, and it was like more people that she would have to like add onto a list and stuff. But it ended up being really fun. And then the next morning we woke up and we all like went to the beach. And
yeah, that weekend we all kind of like did our own thing for the most part.
I did not see you at all on Saturday, and then half of the day on Sunday.
Because you were like, "Hey, how have you been? I haven't seen you in so long." I was like, "It's been 24 hours."
And like, you doing all right, man?
Yeah, we just all kind of did our own thing, like recoup and get ready for the upcoming week, and just like took time to like do what
was necessary.
So yeah, very nice and like a very relaxing kind of reset as we get ready for actual matches to start.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun that weekend, just kind of hanging out. But is there anything else about the party? Oh, tell them about the bathroom.
Oh my gosh. So Z and I went to go to the bathroom, and literally we didn't think it was anything special. Like we like walk in, and it's actually like really cool because they have like lights that had like kind of like stars and stuff, whatever. So it was cool. But we go to the bathroom, and like Z is like washing her hands, and then I'm going to the bathroom. And all this, like, it's like the door is like this, but then your feet stick out like this.
Like your knees are in the door.
My knee, like, they didn't make the stall big enough for like people over 5'11", 5'10". And so, like, to like sit comfortably in there, you had to like put, like, as I said, like, my feet were like out like this. And Zion turns around and is like cackling.
Yeah, because I got a video at like 1 in the morning, and all I see is the door is like barely shut, and Grace is her whole like lower leg is sticking out from underneath.
I literally could not.
The stall door.
And that was the problem with Ziona too. Is then
sure.
She's like on her tiptoes, like trying to go to the bathroom, but it's like, and I mean, it was like the tightest stall I have ever been in my life.
Yeah,
like it was just so weird. You wouldn't have fit either.
No, I would.
None of us did. I had to like open the door because I literally can't sit on this toilet. So, and that was funny. We were like in tears. We were laughing so hard. But yeah, that was like pretty much everything from the birthday party. We missed cake. I think that they did the cake like after we had left, because the whole team was out till like.
Well, yeah, because we asked them on Monday. We were like, "How late did you guys stay out?" And they're like, "Oh, after that, we went to 3 other bars. We were out till 6 a.m." I was like, my bedtime was way earlier.
Yes,
but
and yeah, I mean, it was so fun. Like our team is so goofy though. Like I got a bunch of pictures of like the girls just like having fun. We met a bunch of their boyfriends and their families and stuff. And so I would say overall it was a good like first like way to go out, if that makes sense. So yeah,
I'm definitely excited to go out with everyone.
Yeah.
Now that we're like more comfortable with them too.
Yeah, because they also just like care. Like I know that we always, and this is a funny thing, is like outside of volleyball, we talk about the language barrier, but it was like I was having a full conversation with them the entire night. And it was like I forgot that they were like speaking a different language because I felt like I was understanding like everything. Yeah. Which was so weird. I was just sitting there and Z and I were like, this is great. Like this is fun.
It is really fun.
But yeah, so that was the birthday party, and then I mean, obviously the rest, Z and I went home. We were like, I think that we need to like, we are so tired. Yeah. Which made me seem like I almost felt so lame because I was like, how do they do this? Like,
oh, I know. I cannot imagine. I mean, we're gonna have to do it at least once, but not
a long time to stay out.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to take like a nap before we actually go out.
Yeah. But I mean, again, like it was super fun, and it was really pretty and cute, like the bar top and stuff. And again, the team, the family and friends were just so nice. And they like included us, which was really good.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was and then we went into a week of practice.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, that was just this past Friday.
Yeah, it was just this past Friday.
So then
So
we just, again, like I said, we reset for the weekend. And then Monday, we have practice and lift like normal. And we're, thinking, okay, we have a game tomorrow. Are we gonna watch film? Are we gonna talk about the team? Are we gonna talk about lineup? Or what's the plan here? And so in college, we have like days worth of film and scout and all kinds of scouting reports. We are talking about opponents for like weeks before we play them.
it literally is like 2 weeks before.
And then on top of that, we have practiced our lineup 1,000 times every practice. And then by the time it comes to game time, it's like, yeah, it's just like practice. And here it's like, okay, butterfly for the first hour, serve and pass for the first hour. And then we just play, and like Grace will be on this side, I'll be on that side, and we'll switch. Like, there's no.
And it's not even like rotating like 1, 2, 3. It's like literally like
We
1,
bounce
5,
opposite. Yeah.
4.
And that is actually a big difference. I don't think we've mentioned is when they talk about like, so in the US when we're like, okay, rotation 1, so the setter is in zone 1, so they're in right back. But then when they're like, okay, here when they say 6, that doesn't mean rotation 6 where the setter would be in zone 2 like it does, or yeah, like in the US it's based off of like, okay, you're rotating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But here it's when they say the number, it's just based off of where the setter is, like what zone the setter's in. So for me, when they're like talking about like, okay, 1, 4, 2, 5, whatever, I just know I have to go to the opposite spot of the setter because I'm on the right side. So like it's super easy to translate it. But Grace will be like, where do I go?
Nope.
I'm so confused. Why aren't we rotating? Why did we rotate? Because you guys are just so much, like it's so much more complicated for the outsides.
It's also weird because sometimes like they'll do the thing where they're like, oh, like 3, where the setter's in 3. But then like one of the other girls will be like, you should be in 4, but I'm like, I'm not supposed to be like next to the setter. I was like, I'm like opposite of the setter. So like I go into practice, like this might sound really bad, but when we're doing like 6s or that drill, I literally will just like flip back and forth unless they tell me like, we're staying in rotation. Because or I'll try to follow the other outside who like gets that. But even sometimes like they don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I literally have no idea where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah, and I try to help, but for me it's just so much more easy because it's like I'm just opposite setter. So whatever number they say for her, I go to the opposite spot. But for the outsides, I don't know how you guys keep track of where you're supposed to
because
go.
Then we also are supposed to switch.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh. I literally just go back and forth. I'm like, all right, like you're in back row, you're in front row.
But that is such a big difference from like the US versus here. It's like what we call rotations versus when they call rotations. It's literally the only person that matters is the setter, and you have to figure it out from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monday it was just normal practice. He was like, tomorrow's game's gonna be easy, so we're gonna practice hard. Okay. So then, yeah, like no guidance, no nothing, and we're just again like so used to all the structure that we're kind of freaking out when we're going.
Yeah.
Almost like twitching. We're like, where are we supposed to go? What are we doing? So then Tuesday rolls around, and we're like, okay, how are we getting? Well, I guess technically Monday we technically talked about how we were getting there. They were gonna have a bus van thing for us from the club. They were like, meet at the gate at 12:30. So we get up, we have our morning, we're just hanging out. 12 o'clock comes around, we go get a sandwich because we were pretty confident like we weren't gonna get fed, which again is so different.
We did not.
Yeah, which they did not, and there were no snacks in the lot, like nothing like college. So we bought sandwiches to keep just in case we got hungry throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then we're sitting by the gate and it's like 12:15, 12:20, and I'm texting our like equipment guy who's supposed to be driving us or whatever. He's like, we're coming. And then he started sending audio messages in Spanish. And I was like, Franco, how am I supposed to know what this means? Because I'd be like, hey, I didn't want us to be late or to get in trouble of like, why weren't you at the gym on time when we had been waiting for this van? And again, my anxiety about being late or whatever, missing a bus, missing a time somewhere is through the roof. Especially because the group message, we don't understand anything. We have to translate.
And sometimes even like the translator is like missing key elements of it. Like it's just it doesn't.
So I'm texting Franco and I'm like, hey, we're at the gate, like where are you or how long till you get there? And then he'd respond back with an audio message. And I'm like, Chris, what does this say? And we're both like, I don't know, man.
He's like coming.
Yeah.
I think there's traffic and
then they show up and it's our head coach, assistant coach, and then Franco, our like equipment manager. And
in a little
car. Like only had 2 extra seats open. And I'm looking at the 3 of us, like who's sitting on whose lap?
Or who's walking at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
and so then they're like, oh no, you guys are getting a van. Like, okay, where's
a van that had been sitting outside of the club for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So we get in this little teeny tiny van. And it was the 4 of us because our center also rode with us on the way there. So we're driving there. And I will say, like, driving there was definitely a very eye-opening experience because, like, we got to see a little bit more of, like, Lima and then not as, like, nice and developed parts. So driving from the coastline in was very...
Yeah, like structurally, I'm like, I don't know, like, they have houses just, like,
on top of each other
all the way up the hills, and like these are like neighborhoods, and so like people live here. I also was like I wanted to know more about like where do they go to work, because it seemed like all just housing, like so much housing,
just all on top of each other, and like you said, like the mountains, it was just all you saw were houses.
It was kind of a cool picture though, because it was like I was like, how did they like structurally do that? But going from the coast like inland, it was, obviously there was like more like land, but then there was like the mountains with all the houses on them. And then we're like driving through like markets where you have like open, I guess like tents where people are selling things. And then you have more houses on the mountains. And then there's the arena.
Yeah, because it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden it was just the arena. Like in the middle of this almost neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the arena itself was really nice. Like
it's cool.
How it was like set up was there's a fence around the whole thing. So like once you got in that little area around it was like very nice, well taken care of, very like developed. You would like see it in America. There was no like difference from arenas I've played in before. So then we go inside and super pretty Terraflex floor, which was a godsend.
Very nice. It was a little toasty though.
Yeah, Flavia told us that they normally have air conditioning, and she's like, I don't know why they didn't turn it on. I was like, me either, man. I was dripping through my shirt just from warm-ups. I was like, Grace, I need a towel. What are we gonna do?
Both jerseys.
Yeah,
both.
I'm bringing both jerseys, and I'm going to find a towel to bring.
Yeah, we need like a little pocket one.
Yeah. So once we got to the arena like an hour and a half early, which again is wild because we haven't practiced here at all yet. That's the first time we have seen the gym, seen the lights, seen anything.
And I found it very weird that our coach was like, yeah, this team is new. Like this team is new to our league. We know nothing about them. And I was like, but you didn't scout them like maybe in like a different league. I was like, who do we have to look out for?
Nothing. They just said they're not very good. And that's what we rolled with.
Yeah. And we were like, you're saying that this, because in the States, like you're like, you assume that, you assume, and he gave us like a talk and it was like, like everybody wants to beat us. Like we have a lot of pressure on us. And for the first time ever, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm the team that like, I'm on a team, like everybody wants, like everybody like looks forward to playing us because like they want us to lose.
Yeah.
So that was like kind of like what he was telling us about. But yeah, we show up and people are just kind of meandering and like.
There was also a full glam makeup sessions going on in the locker room, and I was like, I know this is all gonna sweat. Yeah, exactly. So we kept it light, but then it's probably close to 3:00. And again, in college, our official warm-up starts an hour before the match starts. So people are already at this point normally in college gone out for extra reps or they're stretching or whatever, and then the rest of the team joins like an hour early. It's 3:00 and we are all just sitting in the locker room chatting, dancing.
Some people don't even have their stuff on.
So some people barely have their jersey on.
Yeah.
And nobody has told us anything, what the schedule looks like for warm-ups, what time anything's starting, when do we go out to even start warming up? Like Nothing. We knew nothing. We were just sitting there waiting for someone to tell us like when to go. And we're sitting there. Finally, they're like, okay, it's time to go warm up. So when we walk out and we have like little red bands we're like stretching our arms with, it's like free stretch time. We do a core workout for a solid like 5 minutes. I was like,
and I think the funniest thing though is like, obviously there's a bunch of like family friends back home who want to like, watch us play.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, because usually like in college, like you go out, you do your warm up, and then you come back to allow the other team to like go do their warm up.
And to change into your jersey.
Yeah. And so I was like, I'm asking them, I'm like, do we come back? Do we like go back in the locker room? Like, I need to text my mom and dad. Like, I was like, I need to like tell my parents, like,
and they all were like, why would we go back? What, like, because you're already wearing your jersey, you have all your stuff. There's no like, essentially the college volleyball is such a like show and entertainment, which not that you don't already know that, but like you go out, you do your warm up in your warm ups, and you have all these cool like songs playing, and then you run back into the tunnel and get your jersey on, and then you run back out and everyone cheers while your fight song plays. Like it's this whole big grand thing. And here it was like
you warm up
we're
and
already
we're
already wearing our jersey. Like, why didn't you go back in the locker room?
Yeah.
We're playing in 20 minutes now. And we're like, we only have 20 minutes to warm up.
Yeah. And I had to run back in and like send my parents some random like link to maybe like try to find the game, and then I'd like run back out and we did like the core workout, a little bit of like running, jogging, stretching.
And then it was pictures being taken everywhere on the court, like with the coach. We're all just smiling. And I'm like, is this normal for us to just be taking photos before the match with everyone?
Yeah.
And then we start peppering, warming up our arms, and then they're like, okay. And they're not telling us like, all right, next we're doing this. They're just like, okay, done with that. And now we're standing on the end line and like we're waving to the other team. And I'm like, oh my god,
are we starting?
Well, I guess actually before we did that, I think we did do the serving.
Well, it was the serving, yeah.
We did that, and then so the warm up itself was very strange. Only the path, like DSs and setters were on the court, and then us right sides and middles were serving on like the back part of the court, like not on the official court, but on the Terraflex. We would serve to you guys
to the outsides,
and you guys would pass, set, and then hit a ball basically straight down as hard as you could.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to. Yeah, it was a little weird because apparently it was supposed to be like an arm workout as well, but I was like, anybody can hit it straight down. I was like, at this point, I'm like, are we even going to do hitting lines? Like, is this literally our warm up?
Yeah.
Because if it is, then I got to figure something out.
And I'm saying that like, if this is the full warm up, I am only serving. This is not getting me ready to hit. I haven't jumped yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if my knees can handle this. So then we put the balls in the cart. We line up on the end line. We wave to the other team, walk up to the net, and then we shake one person's hand.
Mm-hmm. And
then we were like, oh my god, are we starting right now? Like, so confused. Because, again, nothing has happened. It's been 10 minutes of warm up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, now hitting lines. I'm like, what is going on? No music is being played either.
It was silent.
I think one song came on for like 2 seconds.
And I think that was a fluke. Like, I don't think they kept turning it off. But then we did hitting lines for maybe like 5 minutes on the outside and then 5 minutes on the right side.
And then we lined up again. Oh, also, before we lined up, all of a sudden everyone just comes up and starts high-fiving us. And we're like, what's going on? We're like, high-five and hug everybody. So like coaches are coming through and high-fiving and hugging us. And we're just like, again, I'm super sweaty. So I was like, I don't know if you guys want a hug from me, but yeah, it was just very bizarre. Then we line up. Then it's time to be announced. Like, well, and even at that point, we still barely knew who was starting.
Yeah, he did not say until like they were like actually like announcing.
Yeah,
they were like, "You're Adrian, you're starting this first set."
But then you're not playing the second set. But then so and so Flavia, you're playing first set. It was just so thrown together. And I get like it was the first game and it wasn't a good team or whatever. But in the States, like we prepare for every team like it's the same, like it's the freaking national championship.
Yeah.
Like, you prepare for everybody the same way because you don't want to like underestimate people and you don't want it to be like thrown together. Like you prepare and practice. And here it was just like, okay, whatever. And they said like in the future, once we actually have like information and data on people, like and video will watch and scout them the day before a game. But even at that, it's like, oh, so we'll probably do it for like 30 minutes.
If
And then that's call it good. But the warm up is still the same. So then they're announcing everyone's name, and they'd be like, number 3, blah blah blah, like number whatever. So then I'm like, okay, it's almost my turn. And I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, okay, I gotta high five everyone, run out of the court. And they're like, 18. Silence. Crickets.
nothing.
And I was like,
Nothing.
and I'm waiting to like start the high five train, but I was like, oh, I'll wait till they say my name. That's kind of awkward. And then they're just like, 18. And then they're like, just go. So I like run through. And everybody like on the court and like on the sidelines is like, Adrian, it's Adrian, like trying
They
to
couldn't.
get
Yeah,
them.
they couldn't say Adrian L.
Could not figure out my name. And I was like, oh god, if they can't say my name, Ziona is gonna be just
Yeah.
a train wreck. And then they were like, what, where's
Ziona
20? Yeah, and they were like, fellows. And I was like,
But then they couldn't say Julia's name.
yeah, which is weird because she's played there for 3 years.
Yeah. But it was so funny because it was like 18. 18.
Yeah, I just
like,
remember 18.
I was like, oh my, I was like, just run, man. I was like, just go
Yeah.
through.
So I like high five everybody who's gone through. But I will say, I like normally don't get that nervous before games. Like it's just volleyball. Like I don't know. I don't really ever feel nerves or butterflies. Like it's more just excitement and ready to like go play. And yesterday before the game started, I was kind of like nervous. And I had like butterflies in my stomach and was kind of like, oh my god, this is a big deal. I think part of it was what you were talking about earlier, and Ziona and I had talked about during foremost. We're like, it's weird because everyone knows like we're the Americans.
Yeah.
Like they all know who we are, and like we're supposed to, and we continue to be told like you're gonna help lead Regattas to the 3rd championship in a row. And I'm like, so we don't do that. It's our fault, but if we do that, then we're heroes.
Yeah.
And it's just a different kind of pressure, like coming from college to pros, like this is your actual job.
Yeah.
Even though being a college athlete, it is a full-time job, like now you are literally being paid to perform and you have to perform well.
Mm-hmm.
Or else like why did they bring you here essentially?
Yeah.
And just kind of the like what Grace was saying when the coach is talking about like everyone's gonna play you as hard as they can. You can't let these teams like beat you. We have to win it 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be the best. And it kind of like again the like anxiety and stuff that I've talked about before with my like volleyball career kind of crept up of like kind of nervous. Like what if I mess up? Or like if I mess up once, am I gonna get pulled? Are they gonna freak out and start screaming at me if I like don't do something well?
Yeah.
Just all of these thoughts kind of crept into my head. But then once we started playing, and the first couple swings, I was definitely a little like tentative and figuring it out. Again, we haven't played with these lights. We
The
haven't
ball
played.
floats.
It was just again a different environment on top of all these internal stresses. So the first couple swings were definitely a little like timid and just figuring out like how to play
Mm-hmm.
in front of a pretty decent crowd for a random Tuesday afternoon.
For a 3 o'clock game.
And then once we got playing now, I was like, okay, it's just volleyball.
Yeah.
Everything that I was worried about, like totally gone. And I was like, okay, I'm just playing volleyball.
Like, I'm just here to have a good time.
And granted, like it was a pretty easy team. Like, I mean, they had some good players still, but it wasn't the big like rivalry match.
Yeah, they were new club and
so it was a nice starting match to like kind of get the butterflies out of the way and also get used to the arena, get used to playing in front of people because it was really cool and you could hear it in the second set when I was out. I just remember there was a really long rally and it was loud to begin with because there was like a really good dig in the beginning. And as it kept going, the crowd just got louder and louder. I don't think I've ever played with that loud of a crowd.
Really?
Just because of like the buzz and like it felt constant. Like it felt like there was this constant noise. Whereas in college, like you would get loud crowds or people would like freak out if it was a good. I mean, I guess Texas it's like pretty loud.
Yeah.
But it's here it was just different. It was like a buzz the whole time.
Yeah.
And then as things kept going, it got louder and louder and louder and louder.
Yeah.
And they were so vocal about everything. Like good plays, bad plays, they cheered for everything.
Yeah.
No matter which team it was on.
It was even weird, like we saw the other team was like whistling and like yelling during like their while they were serving.
Mm-hmm.
So like the girls on the court, like the setter had like the fingers in her mouth, like
whistling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were like yelling. allegedly they were saying something.
I was like, it doesn't hurt our feelings, we don't know.
Yeah, but it just sounded like they were like yelling. And I don't know, it was again strange. And I think part of like the reason it felt so loud was because it was just so new for us, like a different environment. And we didn't really know what to expect walking in. Because in college, you know, like okay, at this venue it's gonna be really loud or like the student section is gonna heckle you, but here it just felt this constant like buzzing of noise and people.
Yeah.
It was never crickets and dead
No.
silence.
Yeah, which was nice. Like obviously you love like that's what you always want like playing.
Yeah, it
It's
was
like
really
that
cool.
kind of environment.
And they said because it was decently filled, but they said for like the actual finals later this season, it was actually packed. Like last year was filled, so they expect obviously this year for it to be filled too. It's like I can only imagine how loud it's gonna get during some of these rallies or like after a big hit.
Yeah.
So
But overall it was good. I mean, I think that we played well. We kept them under 15 to 17 each game.
I think the first and second set were pretty low. And then the third set I think they got to like 15.
Yeah.
17, but
yeah. So it was good. I mean, it was like a nice it was like a feel good win almost. Which was fun. And then I mean afterwards, it was the only thing that was similar is like the coach wanted us to stay like a game afterwards or like just to watch like one game. But we had to leave because we had a ride.
Yeah.
But it was so fun because like everybody would be stretching and reporters would be like, "Oh, can I get interviewed?"
Mm-hmm.
We obviously didn't get interviewed because
we don't speak Spanish.
That would be a really painful interview if I would feel bad for them because I'm like, I don't know.
I'd have to bring one of my teammates over.
Yeah. But they just like tap you on the shoulder while you're stretching, like, can we have a minute? And you know, you just gonna talk, and it's like
there was at least like 5 people that got interviewed too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like the one like captain or like starting whatever. It was like 5 people.
A lot of people. Yeah, which was cool to see. I mean, and then obviously the next team came in and played, and a bunch of the fans were there for I don't even remember what the team name was, but they apparently they have like a very good soccer team, like men's soccer team who does well in Lima. And or it's not even in Lima, it's in
I don't know where it is, but their club also has soccer.
And they and so it like the place erupted when they ran out. Like
and they were doing like the soccer chants that like you hear at soccer stadiums, and they like started this whole thing. I was like, who the heck is playing right now? Like, and of course we were kind of like selfishly like, didn't we win last year? Like why did nobody cheer like us? And then we were like asking some of the girls, and they said that this team, the one that has all the chants and like is really good for football, I guess technically here, that they have come in second to Regattas the past 2 years. So I was like, that
I was like,
game is gonna be wild.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be crazy. It'll be so fun though, like when we do play them, because if they're getting that many fans just for like
a random Tuesday
game. But no, it was cool though. And then like our drive back, like we were all pooped and like the car ride is a little bouncy and stuff. And so we were all afterwards I was like, I need chocolate. So I was like kicked out of crate because I was like, I need it.
Yeah, I came back and just laid down for like 30 minutes because I don't normally get car sick, but driving here in this traffic is a whole different animal. And I do not like it very much. So I was like, I need to lay down, drink some water, take a nap. And then we went to dinner. We got big bowls of pasta.
Which was very nice. Very nice.
So good.
Because we're used to just eating like the rice and chicken and like potatoes. And so we like got something new and like we all were like eating in silence. It was just so great.
Inhaled it.
Yeah.
And then we came back and everybody basically passed out.
Yes.
And then I think the only other like major update I guess is we were supposed to have a game this upcoming Sunday, but it got canceled because of there's still like protests and stuff going on in like certain parts of Peru. So the federation, I guess, canceled the game. We don't know like the specifics of why or whatever, but instead of playing Sunday, we're gonna have a match Friday. So or like a friendly match. So again, we're gonna have Saturday and Sunday off. So we are getting very lucky with our off days right now.
That like never happens.
No.
Ever happens.
And I'm A-okay with it.
Yeah. But it's been a busy past couple of days, I feel like.
Yeah. And I feel like it's actually helped the time like go quicker
Yeah.
because we have things to do and like looking forward to things
Yeah.
rather than just like waiting around all the time. So
Yeah, which has been nice too, because like now we're, wrapping or like amping things up, which we'll have several like two games a week or something like
Yeah.
that.
depending, yeah.
So quick turnarounds for that kind of stuff, which it's obviously similar to like college, but like we're almost done with January. So
Yeah, it's wild. And it is nice because all of our matches are played at this arena, so like we don't have to go anywhere crazy. It's like a 30-minute drive, so
yeah.
nothing too bad. And then we are playing in the South American tournament, which is later in May, which would be really cool. It's somewhere in Brazil. I asked Julia yesterday what the city was called, and I can't remember, but we're playing somewhere in Brazil and we're flying there, so that'll be really cool. But yeah, we're excited to finally have seasons starting and have things to look forward to.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely keep you guys updated with like games and how we're doing and all that good stuff.
Yeah. And if you guys like have any questions of us too, like be sure to like ask. Because we love answering things. We like talking.
Yeah. And also if you have questions for like our teammates, because we want to have them on here at some point. So if you have questions for them or like want to know what it's like growing up in Peru and like playing volleyball instead of like being in the States. I think it'd be really cool to get their input and like hear their stories.
Yeah, they have some pretty spectacular perspectives because most of them have been playing here since they were kids. Yeah. So it's like, and they've been able to travel to different countries. Some of them have been to the States, and so they have families that live in the States. So just, their point of view from it would be really interesting.
Yeah. But I think that wraps up today's episode. So be sure to come back next Wednesday and thanks for watching, guys.
Peace.
Bye.